Welcome, guys, to another episode of the e-commerce lab by Ecomcy, the place of everything related to Amazon, FBA, product level, and e-commerce. My name is Vincenzo Toscano, your host, founder, and CEO of Ecomcy, and today we bring another special guest. He's the founder of an amazing company when it comes to cross-border logistics. The name of the company is G Express. They're actually located in India, but they operate across all the world. And his name is also Praveen, which is a pleasure to have you here on the show, my friend. So welcome and thank you for sharing the knowledge about everything related to cross border. So how you doing, my friend? Everything good?
Thank you so much, Vincenzo. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thank you so much for being on the show. I appreciate your time. I'm very, intrigued and also excited to learn more about cross border. I feel it's a topic that keeps evolving year after year, especially after what happened with, COVID and all the things that are happening worldwide. So I'm sure many strategies have been changing from that perspective. But before we jump into that and talk about all the things that people should be aware when it comes to cross border, I think something that would be very interesting to learn from you is first of all, the background by yourself and the company, and then of course then let's dive into some of the strategies you have to share with us today. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Vincenzo, to inviting me here on your show. It is really a pleasure to be here and sharing my experience with the people, who are already working with the e-commerce and doing, lots of things in this domain and wants to, increase their business to the cross border.
Yeah. Awesome. So I
So,
guess go on. Yeah.
My name is Praveen Vasist. I am the founder of G Express. G
Nice.
Express is a company which we started as like one of the pioneer company in India who started giving the solutions to the Amazon sellers, Walmart sellers to ship their products to the cross border. So we have, successfully delivering goods not specifically from India, even for globally. So we have our operations across the globe, whether it starts from US, which is one of the favorite country for all that e-commerce sellers. Then Canada, Mexico, UK, Europe, UAE, India, China, all the South Asia, Japan, and Australia. So wherever you can see the Amazon, our services are available on that country.
Awesome. That's very nice, Praveen. Thank you so much for sharing that. Um, and of course, for everybody watching and listening, then we're gonna make sure we put all the information of Praveen down in the description. But let's start first with what we're here for today, which is talk about all the things in terms of cross border for e-commerce business. So I guess before we dive into all the strategies and everything and so on, I think something that would be very interesting to have an understanding, especially from you that you do this on a daily basis, is what is the current landscape when it comes to cross border? Because as I briefly mentioned at the beginning, things have been evolving, especially with everything happening worldwide in terms of economics, events that happened in the past, like a pandemic, and now the war in certain locations. So I'm sure when it comes to moving the goods around, is getting more complex to some extent. And I would like to hear more your take about what are you seeing right now happening in the space, and what are some of the things that were not happening before and they're happening now, or some of the things that, from your perspective, haven't changed at all. Yeah.
So, Sanzo, what we all can see is like, after COVID happened, the things were so unpredictable that, the things are changing every day. So sometimes we see the war. So, that all activities affect lots of things on the cost of the logistics and specifically, the custom rules and regulations and the
Yeah.
transit time. So, the effect, total effect, overall effect is going to come to the sellers to, deliver their products cross borders to that particular country on that particular cost. So for an example, when the COVID comes, so if I'm going to send a container from India to US, the prices were almost 14 to $20,000 for one 40-foot high cube. So after that, that reduced to almost like 2,700 or $2,000. But again,
Mm.
that war happened. Now the prices again, started rising, and now it reached to $5,000, $6,000. So it is bit difficult for being in a logistic company and Amazon seller or any exporter, because they have to analyze that what price is going to be the landing price for their product. So it
Yeah.
sometimes it's going to difficult for them to predict the market, how they are going to be, compete with the competition, how they are going to, to approach the right customer with the right price. Because
Yeah.
logistics, specifically logistics, play on a very important role when we talk about the cost for the cross-border products. So it is a challenge, and I'm sure this is going to be resolved very soon.
Good, good. Now, I guess you mentioned something there very interesting, which is essentially how dynamic the market is, right? How prices are pretty much always evolving, up and down. And I guess from the perspective of an e-commerce founder, that's a tough situation because, especially for us, like understanding our numbers is super important. Like understanding what is our profitability, essentially how much margin we have to allocate towards other things such as our advertisement and expansion. So, based on your experience, and of course, I'm sure you have identified certain ways to mitigate this situation. Is how you, as a founder of an e-commerce brand that basically are always shipping products around the globe, can take in consideration that fluctuation. Like, do you design some kind of bandwidth where you try to always be in between when it comes to cost, or you use some kind of software, like how you can be on top of those variables that are always evolving? Yeah.
That is a very good question. I love to answer it because that is what has make us as a unique solution provider for the cross-border logistics. So these all are the external factors. You cannot hold them, right? You cannot control them. So to counter them, you have to use some kind of the techniques where you can improve your transit time, which is experience to your customer, and as well as the cost. So we have certain ways where we can make in a very good a good planning within a
Yeah.
mix and match of air and ocean consolidation, where a seller can send their products as fast as they need it, and as cheaper as they need for make their product competitive. So by the mixing of these techniques, by the using of these techniques, they can ship their product on time. They can deliver these products to Amazon FCs or Walmart or customers door on time, and that to a very competitive and effective price.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, because I think that's a conversation we have all the time. Like it's tough to really take in consideration how dynamic the market is. We also work with, like, they don't take in consideration these fluctuations, and by the time they realize it is very late, and then they're losing a ton of money because they didn't predict certain variables, as you're mentioning. Now, something that's also very interesting to understand is what are some of the, I would say, the roles that technology plays into this factor, right? Because we know that when it comes to basically using cross-border across your business, there's definitely amazing technology out there. And when it comes to understanding, your lead times, making sure you always have inventory in hand, having proper consolidation of your stock, so you always know where everything is, and you're basically taking that into consideration within your accounting and all of that. So, from your experience, given the fact that you deal with so many brands and also at the same time you have this logistic operation, what what is the role that technology is playing, especially in 2024? Do you feel like technology is more important than ever when it comes to really putting this into a single point of contact where me as a founder can interact with it, or you still see big companies going the traditional way when it comes to that?
See, when we talk about the big company, when we started the Amazon, so there was all the major big brands who are already working. So
Hmm.
it was dominated by the big brands. Okay, so the other companies were not focusing on the small sellers, the people who really wants us to start their business. So that's how our punchline came. We focus on small is important. So the guys who wants to start their journey that time on the e-commerce, who really wants to try their hands on the e-commerce, we have understand their requirement. We have designed some solutions. We help them with the cost, with the volume, with the with the reachability of the product and the
Mhm.
solutions, whether it is related to the custom compliances at origin, custom compliances at destinations, whatever the documents they need, whatever the license they need to procure, how they can save their brand by registering in a trademark registration, how they can save the other things with the patent and all those things. So that's what we at G Express offer as a bundle to all our sellers. So it is not only about the cross border logistics. So it's always all these these past years we have created an ecosystems where we have a partner, the people who are expertise like you, the who are having an expertise to scale the growth of the seller, to help them with the compliances, to help them with the accountancy, they help them with the custom clearance or help them with the logistics. So so when they comes to us, we always try to give them the best support of us, the best knowledge of us. So at least they choose the right path to reach that volume what they thought to start on the Amazon.
Awesome, awesome. Now, when it comes to expanding overseas, another thing that is huge in cross border is being always on top of all the evolving regulations when it comes to customs and compliance, right? We all know every country is a different minefield when it comes to that, and it gets very complex as you start to scale your brand overseas. So, out of curiosity, from your perspective, in the fact that you operate across all regions, like what is your advice to stay on top of all this? And what I mean is there like a library where founders can go to get access to all this information, or realistically, which I feel that's going to be the case, you will have to work with the experts on those specific regions to really figure things out? Like, is there a way for a small company to really figure all these customs and regulation on their own, or realistically most of the time you have to work with somebody that knows how to mitigate all those obstacles essentially to enter the region? Yeah. What is your
So I'll
advice
tell
on that?
you there are lots. Yeah. So if somebody wants to, get on a knowledge about that, they have to read lots of, books on this because every country have a different market. Okay. So I always advise whenever anybody wants to, sell or take their products to the cross border. So it is important to understand few points, which is specifically the first thing is the market. Which market you want to launch your product, whether it is Amazon US, whether Amazon UK, or Europe, or any market, specific country where you want to launch. So you need to understand that what is the compliances in that country. So for example, US, if you're going to do that, so US have again, you need to file, you need to have an importer of the record. Again, if you wants to sell your products in the UK, you should have a proper VAT registration and EORI to sell their products. Then again, Europe, there is a requirement of ISSO. So every country have a different compliance. So first, I always advise that understand the market. What is the market? Which market wants to launch your product? Understand the compliances in that country. What are the custom compliances? What are the product liability? What are the product compliances specifically, whether they need an FDA clearance or they need any specific clearance for that country. And the second most important thing is your product. So because
Mm,
you can see almost everybody sell different kind of products, starting from textiles, apparels,
yeah.
fashion, jewelry, electronics. So every products have a different kind of nature. So we need to understand that what product we are selling on that marketplace, what are the requirement of the licenses I need to procure to sell those products in that particular country. So understand the product, that what product you want to sell on that particular market. Understand whatever the compliances and documents is required. Second is the custom compliances, which is I have already mentioned that need to understand what are the compliances in your country. Let's say if somebody is sitting in France and they want
Hmm.
to sell a garment brand to US, so they need to understand to sending in a garment, an apparel product from the France. What are the requirements there in France to export those goods? Then again,
Nice.
what are the requirements, custom compliances is in US to import those good into the US. So let's say, for example, there is anything which is going to have in a postal pack, it is mandate to have a product liability insurance. So a seller
Mm-hmm.
should have that product liability insurance. So in case if there would be any challenges in the future, that should not hit them back. The
Good.
third thing
Good.
is understanding the SWOT. So we all know about the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. So before entering, should have a proper research about the product, that product, what the product which I want to sell on some particular country or some particular marketplace. Is any other competition is already selling or not? If selling, what is the quality? What is the colors? What is the sizes? What is the volume? What is the price? So all these things needs to be work before launching that. So they can easily reach out to that desired volume which they want to have in that particular market.
Yeah.
The fourth thing is the most important, which is the optimization of cost and transit time. So
Mm.
the everything, because when you have your first sale on any marketplace, you just first worry thing for you got the product, you pack it well. Now how is going to ship you, how you are going to ship it. So shipping is again comes within a mind, because if you are selling it in your country, you are selling with a specific compliances, you have a less compliances. But when you are sending or selling it to out of your country or cross border, there is lots of compliances which comes into the mind. And then the cost. So if you are going to plan your shipping well, so it is going to give you a benefit of a cost optimization as well as on a very good transit time. So the transit time is effect is all about the customer experience. So if you are going to deliver your goods safely and on time, it is going to give you a very good experience to your sellers.
Awesome. Yeah, you said something there that I like, which is how we have to see also this from the perspective that it's an exercise you have to do before entering and launching the product in that place. And it sounds, of course, basic in from the perspective of hearing like that, but you will be surprised so many times. I talk to brands that they design the product lineup and everything, and they only try to figure out these things when the product is ready to go and ready to ship. It's like they didn't do any homework about, okay, can we actually sell in this region? If so, what is the implication? What is going to be the cost? What are going to be the compliance factors? So super, super important that people do this exercise beforehand, because otherwise they might encounter the situation, which I'm sure you have seen a lot of times, where the products cannot even be sold in that region for X, Y, and Z, and then it's a huge waste of time and money, right? Um, Now, another thing I would like to explore is I see as well when it comes to cross border, there's a big shift also towards including more things related to being sustainable, right? Sustainability is
Yeah.
something that is being a big thing, especially lately. There's a lot of incentives. And tell me a little bit about how we as e-commerce sellers can also leverage that, because I know if you're very clear with that, not only you can use that towards your branding, which can make you, really stand out, but you can get, as I said, like a specific grants from the government and organization to the respective institutions where you're importing into to benefit from that. So high level, what are you seeing in the space? Is this something that people is leveraging a lot when it comes to sustainability, or is something that is not being widely adapted yet when it comes to that?
See, after this COVID happened, so people were more aware about the health, about the environment, about the nature. So it is something like everybody started using those products which is comes within a sustainability, right? So
Mhm.
this become popular, and there was a very huge demand of all these sustainable products, whether it is the toys, whether it is the textiles, whether it is the home decor. So the people started shifting from the plastic made products to the bamboo textiles, your there's with you the Egyptian cotton, 100% cotton, reusable products, wooden toys, all these kind of the products which are giving in a a commitment to sustainability to the nature. So
Mhm.
now, if we are going to see the demand, which is going to be anywhere in the marketplace, people really wanted to use those products, which is less harmful to them, to their society, and to their environment. So yeah, there is a huge demand of these products I can see these days, because everybody is now focusing and changing on lots of things, which is I was surprised to see in a handmade diary which is also having a seal. So after using that paper, you just put that paper on the thing, and that paper can convert into a plant.
Yeah.
So people are using such kind of the products, that is specifically because they are now more aware about the sustainable products.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, another thing I would like to also bring to the conversation is what are some of the future trends you see in because I mean, actually, something that I'm very intrigued to hear from you because we all know AI is being something that everybody's talking about, and there's actually some tools I have seen out there that now help you predict certain things when it comes to cross border in terms of stock levels, in terms of fees, and all of that. So, how do you see things such as AI actually providing a support to you and your clients when it comes to cross border? Is that something you already entering very fast the sector, or is something that's still not there yet when it comes to AI? Yeah.
The AI definitely is helping us a lot. Whether it is giving in a customer management, whether it is analysis of the data, or even if it is going to given a good experience to customer to timely update them for the tracking, tracing, or we will or a delivery of the goods. So AI is very helpful, and it is helping us in a very good note, where we can improve our efficiency to deliver that goods, and by providing a very good experience to our sellers. So you understand that every business is the most important thing is a unit economy, right? More you analyze about anything, whether it is your product, whether it is your competition sale, whether it is your advertisement, whether that product sale. So everything is more about the analysis. So AI made that analysis very easy. Whatever the data you want, it is all available. Whatever data you want to calculate, it is more easy. So whatever ease of life you want, by integrating all the platforms on a one side, on a one platform, it has all happened just because of the AI.
Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I think this is something that's going to be very interesting because, I mean, and we see that happen in our areas like AI is helping us overcome those obstacles. Like back to one of my first questions, like how you as a founder stay on top of all the regulations and compliance things that you have to be aware of. And I'm sure as time goes by, AI is gonna basically tap into all these basically institutions and be able to figure out on a few seconds what the right strategy when it comes to enter certain regions, and that's also very interesting thing that we're gonna experience down the line.
Yeah,
um
definitely.
yeah. So now another thing I want to touch on. So when it comes to cross-border logistics, another thing that's also very important is basically and we can basically zoom in into specific regions, right? For example, in the US, there's specific ways to basically import merchandise to make it efficient in terms of customs and all that. The same with Europe, the same with Asia. I think high level, one that I would like to actually bring to the table because this is something I'm getting a lot of questions and I see not a lot of people actually talking about this. Let's talk, for example, with regions such as in India, for example, we know Amazon India is present there, right? And there is a huge interest for more and more people enter the region. Of course, there's limitations that you need to be aware of, but still there's a new methodology that people are figuring out to enter the market. So a market such as India, given the fact that you guys are there and you have so many years of experience, like what are some of the high level things you have to be aware of to efficiently import goods into the country? Like what are some of those things me as a seller should be aware of? Yeah.
So, when we talk about India, definitely India is the fastest growing economy now. you have the
Yeah.
biggest population, so you have more people to sell your products as compared to any country. And I can see a drastic change in India, if I'm going to talk and compare with the past few years. So India, the people's habit, people's buying habit, behavior is changing a lot. So yes, if somebody wants to target India market to sell their products, which comes from a different part of the world, whether it comes from Europe or whether it comes from UK or anywhere. So India is a very good market for them, because the buying pockets of Indian people is has been increased well.
Exactly.
So people are,
Mhm.
yeah, people are, the brands like Hugo Boss, brands like Rolls Royce, they are now selling their products in
They're
India.
investing.
So
Yeah.
yeah, they are now, they're already starting investing, because they are also having their eyes, they can see a huge opportunity in India, because the kind of population they have, the kind of the tremendous growth happening in the cities, infrastructure, all those things. So they can assume that there is a future and India is a future. So, and if I'm going to compare the previous compliances of India to importing anything, it made very easy. So if you
Mm.
wants to set up a company in India today, it is possible. So India has also recently started a gift city, which is having a very less compliances. If somebody wants to set up a virtual company in India, or somebody wants to set up a physical company in India, it make very easy now. And the custom compliances, if you want to import something, if you want to store it here, we will help you to set up everything here in India, whether it comes to your IOR, whether it comes to your sharing warehouse, whether it comes to your fulfillment center or your last mile or first mile. So we
Awesome.
will help any seller who wants to come to India. It's most welcome.
Good. That's very cool. Yeah, and that's why I wanted to bring that to the table because I was in India a few months back, and the growth that you guys are having is amazing. And I just wanted to, briefly bring this to the episode, so people can be mindful of the opportunity, and then they basically can start taking action. Um, awesome. So I think to start concluding, like of course now I want to ask you, because you are of course the most knowledgeable person on this, like is there any other things in terms of, especially strategy wise, or mistakes, or things that people should be doing that they're not doing, that you like to share, so we can start bringing the episode to a closure? Like, is there anything else that you feel we haven't touched on that you think that's a must, Vincenzo, but unfortunately most people are not doing?
So Vincenzo, I having all this past experience and meeting lots of people, working with lots of sellers and customers, I have only one advice for all the young people, all the people who are working in this domain. Stop focusing on cost versus service.
Mm,
It is more like a need versus solution. So what you can give your customer is an experience, right? So do not focus on the product quality, that if you're going to wants to place your product on the cheaper side, forget about that. So think that if you really wanted to sell their products, and if you're worried about the cost of your logistics or anything, I can guarantee that everything can be possible, and everything thing can be manageable. So if the market factor today is expensive for the cost of logistic or cost of your product, it is still can manageable. But do not compromise with your service experience with your customer, the quality experience of your customers. So that is one mantra which is most important. If everybody is going to focus for a quality product with a quality service, definitely they would be going to get on a success to deliver in a quality experience to their customers.
awesome. Yeah, I love that. I think especially on cross border, even myself, because I'm a seller, I remember when I was getting started, I always went for the cheapest quote, and then I regret that so many times, because in that space it's not always about, as you said, the rate. It's about, first of all, the people that work on the other side, like having that kind of team culture and having somebody that you can rely on. But the second thing is like having somebody that when things go sideways, you're gonna have a response. Like some of these other services, like it can be the cheapest in the market. Sometimes is your own manufacturer,
Yeah.
and they don't really care once the pro leaves the warehouse. So yeah, very important. Good. Awesome. Praveen,
And
it's been a pleasure.
honestly,
Gone, gone.
yeah, I just want to add one more important thing, because people focus more on the cost per product, cost of the product, cost of the service. but there are some charges which they cannot minimize. That can be minimized by only by the having in a very good planning on the logistics, and that's what we do. So we do your warehousing, we do your fulfillment, we do your pick and pack, we do your return management. So anything which stopping you to sell your products on the cross border, whether you are based in France, whether you based in Italy, whether you are based in Germany or UK or US, anywhere, we can help you out with all our solutions, so you can sell your products with enough peace of mind that logistic is nothing. So that's what as our tagline is, we are your logistic partner.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Praveen. So, in case anybody wants to reach out to you and receive some insights and or sometimes work with you when it comes to cross border, how people can find you and reach out. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. So
So,
I am going to
can you
share
share your
my
information, and then I'm gonna
I'll
put it
share
down
my
in the description. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, just give me 1 second. People can reach out to us.
If you want, just say your email and your website, and then we can put it down in the notes. Yeah.
Okay, just give me 1 second. There you go. So I have put at both the email IDs and our website, so people
Awesome.
can reach out to us.
Thank you so much, Brian. So it's been a pleasure and wish you all the best. And looking forward to have you on the next episodes. I'm sure I'm going to also meet you in India soon because I'm going to be going again. So can't wait. Yeah. Okay.
Definitely, Vincenzo. Thank you so much. It is pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Have a nice one. Bye bye. See ya.
You too. Thank you. Bye bye.